Alright, you lot, gather round because we're about to dive headfirst into absolute circus that is Call of Duty in 2025. I'm talking broken finishing moves, overpriced cosmetic bundles, and Activision's manipulation tactics that make a shady car salesman blush. But before we rip into them like a Yorkshireman on bad gravy, don't forget to like, subscribe and all that bollocks. It helps the channel grow. Trust me, you don't want to miss this rant. Now let's get into it, shall we? Right then, let's get started. First up, Treyarch and their absolutely laughable broken finisher move in Black Ops 6. 4 years. 4 bloody years. And over 4,000 developers working on this game, and somehow they can't manage to get a finisher move to work properly. Are you taking piss, Treyarch? I mean, who's running show over there? A bunch of interns hooked up on energy drinks and blind optimism? You'd think after all that time and manpower they could at least get basics right. But no, instead we're left with this broken, glitchy mess that looks like someone mashed 2 animations together in Blender and called it a day. And you fanboys still have audacity to defend this shite. Oh, but it's just a small bug, it's not a big deal. Bollocks. This is Call of Duty, one of the most profitable gaming franchises in history, and they can't deliver on a simple finisher move without it looking like it belongs in a bloody PS2 game. Get your heads out your asses, lads. This is what happens when developers spend more time churning out overpriced skins and bundles than actually fixing core mechanics at game. And don't get me started on excuses. Oh, game development is hard. No shit, Sherlock. But maybe, just maybe, don't announce a shiny new feature until it actually bloody works. Honestly, Treyarch, sort yourselves out. You're supposed to be one at flagship studios, not punchline at industry. But let's talk about absolute piss tech that is Call of Duty Squid Game's event. According to Charlie Intel, unlocking all event content will set you back a whopping 8,700 COD points. $87 or 70 quid. For what? Some pink guard skins, a VIP pack and Young Yi. You having a laugh, Activision? That's more than cost at base game. And let's be honest, these skins will be about as useful as a chocolate teapot in a few months when everyone's moved on to next shiny cash grab. It's kicker. Activision knows full well these skins have a shelf life shorter than milk in a heatwave, but they're still dangling them in front of you like a carrot on a stick. And you twonks out there defending this garbage. Yeah, you, one screaming, "It's just cosmetic, it doesn't affect gameplay." Wake hell up. Not just about skins, it's about the fact that this greedy business model is ruining experience for everyone. They've got you hooked on this FOMO nonsense. Oh, but I need Squid Game skins. No, you don't, you absolute bellend. You're lining pockets at a company that cares more about shareholders than its players. And worst part, this ain't even the first time they've pulled this stunt. It's a pattern. Overpriced bundles, overpriced battle passes, overpriced everything. But hey, as long as spreadsheets show profits, Activision don't give a toss if player base is being bled dry. Do yourself a favour. Don't give these muppets your money for digital tart you'll forget about in a month. Maybe then they'll start focusing on making a game that's actually worth playing, instead of one that's just a glorified cash register with guns. Oh, and we got to talk about this frontman operator nonsense. So according to Charlie Intel, frontman operator from Squid Game Premium Event Pass uses the same bloody voice lines as replacer operator.
I can't feel my face.
I can't feel my face.
Smooth. Too smooth.
Smooth. Too smooth.
Same lines, same delivery. Are you kidding me? Activision couldn't even be bothered to record some fresh dialogue. That's next level lazy, even by their standards. What's the excuse this time? Oh, it's a homage. Bollocks, it's just cheap and lazy. They've got millions in bank from alt microtransactions and they can't fork out for a voice actor to read new script. You'd think for 70 quid's worth of Squid Game tat, they'd at least try to make content feel, I don't know, worth it? But no, let's just slap recycled assets on it and call it a day, cause fanboys will eat it up anyway. Honestly, it's like they're not even trying anymore. They got you playing a glorified vending machine. And instead of delivering something new and exciting, they're just checking out crumbs from under sofa cushions. And you lot defending this? Oh, it's just voice lines, mate. It don't matter. Oh, it matters, you smooth brain tossers, because it shows how little effort they're willing to put in while they charge you premium prices. Pathetic. Now buckle up, because this one really takes piss. According to Charlie Intel, players have noticed that after finishing a match in Black Ops 6 or Warzone, Game auto-equips one of those free Squid Game skins on their operator. And why is that happening? Oh, because Event Pass tab is conveniently placed second in menu, and players are just moving too fast through after-action report. Yeah, right. Pull other one Activision, it's got bells on it. This isn't an accident, it's straight-up manipulation. They're doing this to inflate the stats so they can tell the shareholders, look how many people are engaging with Squid Game content. Aren't we clever? No, you're not clever, you're just sneaky little shits. They're banking on the fact that most players won't notice their operators being swapped and will just go along with it, unknowingly boosting Activision's engagement metrics. And then fanboys eat it up. Oh, Squid Game event is so popular, everyone's using skins. No, you muppets, they're being tricked into using them. This is kind of underhanded slimy tactic that makes my blood boil. It's not enough that they're gouging players with overpriced bundles and lazy content. Now they're actively messing with your experience just to make their numbers look good. And for what? To sell even more cosmetics in the next event. It's like a pyramid scheme, but with digital costumes. Here's an idea, Activision. Instead of manipulating your player base, how about you focus on making a game that people actually want to play? Because if you keep this up, there won't be anyone left to manipulate. Wake hell up, you greedy tossers. And you fanboys, quit defending this rubbish. You're not helping, you're just enabling them. Sort it out. Now let's talk about this absolute clusterfuck that is ranked play in Call of Duty. Charlie Intel says it's unplayable because hackers are running riot, crashing games, shutting down servers, and pulling off acts that make bloody Hollywood Ice movie look amateur. And what's Activision doing about it? Sweet fuck all. Except adding more microtransactions to the store. Lovely priorities, lads. Ranked players supposed to be pinnacle, where best players prove their worth, but instead it's become digital Wild West with cheaters running show. You can't even get through a single match without some knobhead with an aimbot ruining the whole thing. And best part, Activision's solution to all this chaos? Buy our new operator bundle. Brilliant, just what we needed. More overpriced skins to stare at while hackers make your screen look like a disco from hell. Honestly, it's beyond embarrassing. Activision. You're sitting on a franchise that prints money, yet you can't invest in proper anti-cheat. What's the excuse? It's a complex problem. Yeah, get over. Smaller studios with a fraction of your budget manage to keep their games clean, but you lot are too busy figuring out how to squeeze another tenner out of your players to bother with basic maintenance. And to all you fanboys who keep saying, just wait, they'll fix it soon. How many years are you willing to wait? Eh? Because this has been going on since Warzone launched. And if you think they're going to fix it now, you're more deluded than I thought. Rank play's a joke. Activision's a joke. And all damn systems rotten to core. Either sort your shit out or just admit you gin up on making Call of Duty a respectable franchise. And here's where it gets even more embarrassing. According to Charlie Intel, Call of Duty dropped to number 2 on PS5 during Christmas week, beaten out by Fortnite. It's still holding into number 1 on Xbox, barely, and fell to a laughable number 7 on PC Steam. 7th! Behind games that have been out for ages. I mean, bloody hell, aren't minds you've fallen, eh? Let's start with obvious. Fortnite's still cleaning up cause, love it or hate it, Epic knows how to keep their game fresh without constantly shafting their player base. Meanwhile, Activision's busy shoving overpriced bundles down your throats and ignoring actual problems with the games. And don't give me that, but Xbox is still number 1 bollocks. Game Pass is clearly inflating those numbers. It's not like people are flocking to COD because it's a masterpiece. They're playing it because it's bundled into the subscription. Big difference. As for PC, dropping to number 7 on Steam says it all. Call of Duty has historically been juggernaut on every platform, but now it's getting rinsed by games like Helldivers 2 and Rocket League. It's kicker. At time of recording, Call of Duty has 39,000 players. Remember, that's across 4 games, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 6 and Warzone, and includes all modes, not just multiplayer. Banana, a game where you just sit there alone and click on a digital banana, has 75,000 players. Players would rather click on a picture of fruit, watching numbers go up, than play Call of Duty. It's like watching a Ferrari get overtaken by a rusty old van because Ferrari's engine keeps stalling. Cracks are showing Activision, and if you don't start patching them up, this whole thing is going to collapse. And before any of you smooth-brained fanboys pipe up with, it's still top game overall, let me remind you that being number one means bugger all when experience is absolute shite. Players aren't sticking around cause they love game, they're sticking around out of habit or cause there's bugger all else to do. And trust me, that's not a sustainable business model. Fix your bloody game, Activision, or next year you'll be lucky to crack top 10. This next one's a bloody peach. So Modern Warzone reports that streamer Myth were paid a whopping $400,000 by Activision to stream Modern Warfare 2019 for a total of 50 hours. Let's do maths, shall we? That's $8,000 an hour just to play a game you were apparently going to stream anyway. Yeah, totally normal stuff, not shady here at all. Look, I'm not knocking Myth for taking money. Hell, if someone offered me 400 grand to play a game for a couple of days, I'd bite their hand off. But let's be real, Activision ain't throwing that kind of cash around cause they're feeling generous. They know exactly what they're doing. Game's a mess, players are pissed, and they're hemorrhaging goodwill faster than a pub with no beer. So what's the solution? Pay top streamers to plaster on a smile and say, "Oh wow, this game's amazing!" Keep smooth-brained twonks engaged. And don't even try to tell me this don't work, because we all know there's a legion of fanboys who'll lap up all the favourite streamer says, "Oh, Myth's playing Modern Warfare, it must be good then." No, it's not good. It's just been marketed to you with subtlety or a sledgehammer. Activision's not selling a game anymore. They're selling a fantasy, and they're paying top dollar to keep that illusion alive. Sad thing is, this isn't even new. We've seen this tactic before, and we'll see it again. Why bother fixing game when you can just throw money at influencers to hype it up? It's cheaper, quicker, and far less effort. Meanwhile, actual players are stuck dealing with broken mechanics, shit matchmaking, and more hackers than MI6. But hey, at least Myth's had a good time, right? Here's where it gets downright laughable. Charlie Intel dropped some juicy numbers about development costs and sales of Call of Duty titles. Black Ops 3, $450 to make, sold 43 million copies. Modern Warfare 2019, $640 million to make, sold 41 million copies. Black Ops Cold War, a staggering $700 million to make, and it only sold 30 million copies. Now these figures alone are enough to make you wonder if the gold plating bloody DLC. But here's kicker. It completely shits all over the claims about SBMM being about player retention. Let me break it down for you. SBMM is supposed to keep players hooked by ensuring they constantly match with players of similar skill. Bollocks. Real goal here is EOMM, where they manipulate matches to encourage you to spend more. It's not about fair play or keeping game fun. It's about creating frustration so you'll spend cash on bundles, weapons, or whatever overpriced tat they're pushing this week. And don't even try to deny Activision. Numbers don't lie. Back in the day, we had games like Black Ops 3, which, surprise, surprise, had no SBMM in casual lobbies. It was pure chaos. And guess what? People bloody loved it. Fast forward to Modern Warfare 2019, Cold War, an abomination that is Black Ops 6, and suddenly everything's tuned to make you feel like you're playing in a bloody treadmill. Win a couple of games? Here's a sweat-filled lobby to crush your soul. Lose too many? Have a bot lobby to give you a nice little dopamine hit. It's all so predictable, so transparent, and yet these smooth-brained fanboys still defend it with a "it's for player balance" nonsense. Here's a wild idea, Activision. Maybe people would stick around longer if you focused on making fun, balanced game instead of milking every last penny from your players. Stop hiding behind bullshit data. Stop pretending SBMM is all other than a cash grab. And for love of God, stop treating your player base like cattle. You're killing franchise one manipulation at a time, and we're all sick of it. Now let's dive into rabbit hole at AI bots in Call of Duty, a topic BlameTruth recently brought up. If you haven't seen his videos, go check them out after this. Now I've got to admit, I hadn't really thought much about bots in COD until he started piecing it together. But after hearing his tech, it all clicked. Let me share my experience. I'd played every COD religiously up until 2016 because something felt off. Magic were gone. so I moved on to other games, mainly Fortnite, and poured hours into that. Call of Duty was just part-time game, and just for the sake of it. I quit playing Call of Duty regularly after Black Ops Cold War in 2020. But here's the thing, I jumped back into COD for Modern Warfare 3, mostly out of nostalgia for original Modern Warfare 2 maps. Played a bit of DMZ with my son after he bought me Modern Warfare 2 because I enjoyed Modern Warfare 3 beta. Clocked in a few hours here and there, but no major. Yet somehow, my playtime stats say I've racked up over 760 hours in COD over a few months. How the fuck does that add up? Let me compare. I got 270 hours in Fortnite, a game I played daily for a couple of years. X-Defiant, around 146 hours since launch. Need for Speed Unbound, 181 hours since December 2022. So how hell do I have 760 plus hours in Call of Duty when I barely play the bloody thing? Here's kicker. BlameTruth suggests that Activision's inflating the player stats with AI bots running in background. It's not you playing, it's some sneaky algorithm logging time in your name to boost their engagement metric. And honestly, it makes perfect sense. It explains how players like me, who only hop on occasionally, somehow end up with playtime that rival hardcore gamers. It's yet another shady manipulation tactic to inflate the numbers for investors and fool everyone into thinking COD's still thriving. This is exactly kinda underhanded bullshit we've come to expect from Activision. And to those of you who still think COD's best it's ever been, explain this. How do players rack up hundreds of hours in a game they don't even play? How do I get shadow banned last week after uninstalling the game a few months ago? Cracks are showing, lads. Activision's house of cards is about to collapse. Bots or no bots, trust is gone, and without trust you've got note. And that's why I dropped COD entirely. I'm not playing the game to be toyed with like a lab rat. I'm playing to have fun. But Activision clearly don't get that. And at this rate, they never will. They've traded player satisfaction for short-term profits, and it's showing. Steam charts don't lie. People are walking away in droves. And I don't blame them. Now, some of you might say, oh, you're just another rage-baiting YouTuber. Nah, mate. This ain't bait. It's cold, hard facts. Take a look at numbers. Black Ops 6 might still have player base. But let's not kid ourselves. It's shrinking faster than a puddle in Sahara. Steam charts show that more than half the players have already bailed. And those that remain, most of them are just grinding for the next overpriced skin drop, not actually enjoying game. That's not healthy engagement, it's manufactured addiction. But Activision don't care, as long as metrics look good for investors. And don't give me that, oh, but there's more than just Steam bollocks. If game's dying on Steam, it's dying everywhere. PlayStation, once COD's crown jewel, is already seeing cracks. And Xbox? Game Pass is inflating those numbers like a dodgy weightlifting belt. Truth is, COD is being kept alive by manipulation, shoving auto-equipped skins onto players, inflating playtime with AI bots, and tweaking matchmaking to frustrate you just enough to make you open your wallet. But manipulation don't stop there. Every new release is coated with nostalgia bait, designed to tug at your heartstrings while Activision picks your pocket. Remember Modern Warfare 2? Remember how much fun you had in 2009? Yeah, well, those memories aren't going to save you when you're stuck in a lobby full of cheaters, sweating your ass off cause SBMM, while Activision waves another 20 quid skin bundle in your face. Cracks are there for everyone to see, but some of you still defend this shit. It's best COD we've had in years. Bollocks. If this is best, then I dread to think what's coming next. You're being played, boys and girls. Manipulated, fleeced, left holding bag while Activision laughs all the way to bank. It's not just a game anymore, it's a bloody casino, and your mug-feeding slot machine. Call of Duty don't need more bundles or battle passes. It needs a bloody revolution. It needs to go back to basics. Solid gameplay, fair matchmaking, and a focus on fun over profit. But let's be real, that's not happening anytime soon. So if you're tired of being a pawn in Activision's money-grabbing scheme, it's time to speak up. Otherwise, this franchise is as good as dead. So, Activision, if by some miracle you're listening, though, let's be honest, you're too busy counting your billions to care about little old me, but this one's for you. We're not asking for moon here. We're asking for a bloody good game. A game that respects its players, don't manipulate them, and gives us a reason to come back every day without feeling like we've been mugged. Is that too much to ask? Apparently it is. Let me spell it out for you. Nobody's saying you can't make money. Sell your battle passes, keep your store, throw in odd flashy skin, whatever. But for fuck's sake, stop tying it all to manipulative systems that ruin experience for everyone. You got a player base that wants to love your games, but you're driving them away faster than Yorkshiremen at sight of a dry roast dinner. Here's a little nugget of wisdom from Sven Vinke, bloke behind Baldur's Gate 3.
They knew that if you put the game and the team first, the revenue will follow.
Take notes, Activision. Problem isn't that we hate Call of Duty, it's that we hate what you've done to it. You've turned a once-beloved franchise into a bloody cash grab machine, and people are walking away because they've had enough. So here's my challenge to you. Prove us wrong. Show us that you still care about making great games, not just fattening your bottom line. Because if you keep going down this road, you'll lose players who made COD what it is. And when that happens, no amount of fancy skins or nostalgic map packs will save you. Ball's in your court. But frankly, I'm not holding my breath. And to fans still hanging on, I get it. We all want COD to be great again. But until we stop rewarding Activision for the bullshit, nothing's going to change. To speak up, vote with your wallet, and demand better. It's the only way Circus gets back on track. Right, that's it for this rant. If you made it this far, you're a bloody legend. So smash that like button, hit subscribe, and leave your comments and questions below. I might just feature them in a future video. And don't forget to check out channel memberships, join Discord, and follow me on Twitter. All links are in the description. I'll see you next time, you magnificent.